This video is intended for those that are looking to build a personal brand or maybe a brand for your business. Particularly in these videos, I'm going to be documenting the journey of leveraging social media to help build my business and grow my personal brand. I am not an expert at all. I know very, very little about social media and branding and things like that. I've just been on a rabbit hole of YouTube University probably the last 2 or 3 months. Literally like 2 months ago, I didn't even know what a thumbnail was on a video. So trust me, I am a beginner. That is who these videos are intended for. Beginners and those that want a real authentic perspective on maybe how to build a brand, get started, and how to leverage social media. We all know that we should be doing it, but sometimes we're just a little bit confused on where to start, how to do it, and maybe the fear that comes along with it. So I'm hoping to provide value to those that are wanting to do the same, which is grow their personal and business brand, and for others to just watch the process of somebody literally going from a minimal social media presence to hopefully growing a following and building some type of community or brand. You've probably watched a million videos that are much better as far as editing goes, quality, but the difference is at this point in time, I probably have just over 1,000 Instagram followers. LinkedIn, I maybe get 5 to 25 engagements depending on the post. Twitter, non-existent, or X, non-existent right now. So we are going to be really experimenting and starting from ground zero on building a following, building a page, and leveraging it to building a brand and building a business. Many of the social media gurus that I've watched, that I've learned from, they already have huge brands and they just make it seem so easy. And not that it's not truthful, but when you already have a huge brand, it's a lot easier to start another brand from zero. But I hope that this video can serve as a series or a video on how to help those who know they should be using social media, but just real hesitant to get started. So over the next 6 months, I'll be sharing my step-by-step journey or process of what I'm doing, my ideas, and the wins, the losses, things I'm learning. So follow along and start with me, and we'll be able to grow together, or sit back, watch, enjoy, and see where this thing goes. We might be looking back in a few months and nothing has happened and I'm just talking to myself the whole time. Or we might look back in 6 months and you might go, dang, I should have started with him. So follow along, let's dive into it. So the big why for me on wanting to be more active on social media is I just feel like it's a very untapped market for personal brands and for a lot of people that I know. I just feel like if they got more engaged on social media, if they started posting more, if they started sharing what they do, I think that it would directly correlate to more, professional success. So for me, really the big why is hopefully teach a few people how to do this, really just show them how I'm doing it. If it works, great, you can copy and paste. If it doesn't, then now you know what not to do. But social media is tricky. I think it's unfair to say that you just need to post, and you'll grow and you'll become a billionaire. I don't think that's necessarily true. I've seen a lot of people post consistently and they get like no engagement, they get no following, and honestly, they just look kind of stupid. So that is part of it. You might look stupid. And I am looking stupid right now. But it does take some skill, it takes some personality, and honestly just a little bit of good luck too. And there's a lot of tips and tricks and strategies. So in these videos, we're really looking at like just how to get started. I think, comparing it to golf, you watch all these golf experts teach you how to fix your swing and all this stuff. Most of the time you need to just go out and play more and practice more, and you just need to get the reps in. So until you're at that expertise of the little tips and tricks, you need to focus on the big stuff. And the big stuff is getting started, which is really just, can you bring value? Can you be entertaining and can you be educational? I've seen tons of profiles in the fitness space and a few other industries that have just exploded, and it's built their business. They literally built their business from social media. However, I've only seen a handful of people do it that are in what I would call maybe the boring jobs, the boring careers. And what I mean by the boring jobs, the boring careers, I'm talking about attorneys and law firms, CPAs, accountants, those in insurance, finance, realtors, other trainers or coaches, plumbers, electricians, the trades. I would say that these are kind of what we would just call like the normal everyday jobs, but also everyone at some point is going to need one of those things. The trick is you just need to be the most well known for doing that thing. And if you can be well known and be one of the best at that, then your business is going to take off, your business is going to grow. So, number one reason why businesses fail is they just lack revenue. They run out of money. It's as simple as that. They fail to make new sales, they fail to bring in new clients, and a lot of times they're competing in a very saturated industry. And when you're getting started, you're just one person. We'll take a realtor, for example. One realtor, there are thousands of realtors. And you know how many new realtors jump on every day saying that they're a realtor? There's a ton of them. Plumbers, another one. Tons of plumbers out there. I could Google and get a whole list of hundreds of plumbers in my area. So I'm talking to you if you're in one of those industries and you feel like there's a lot of competition. Like if you Google, financial advisor, accountant, there's going to be a million John Smiths that look exactly the same wearing a suit and tie, and there's literally no differentiator. Maybe one of them has a cooler website or something, but literally nothing is really going to separate them. To conclude this point, most businesses fail because they lack revenue and they just can't pay their bills. They go out of business because they can no longer pay their bills. It's hard to stay in business when you don't have any money. If you're like most people, when they get started in their new job, new career, new business, they come out with a declaration post. And it looks a lot like this. Hey guys, I'm super excited. I'm starting X. Let me know if you or anyone you know could benefit from my help or my services. Please let me know. I'm trying to get started. Super excited. Super grateful for all the support. Let me know. Okay, that's the declaration post. You come out with something, maybe it's just a picture, you put that in the captions, but there's not a lot to it other than that, hey guys, this is what I'm doing. Great, that's a first. If you haven't done that, you need to do that. And we'll get to that eventually. And you come out with that post and you get a ton of likes and comments from old friends, family. You're probably getting a few sympathy likes, people maybe feeling bad for you. People in the comments crush it, fire emojis. But I mean, really, do they mean it, or are they just trying to be supportive, being helpful? I'm getting this right now. I'm getting tons of sympathy likes. I'm getting tons of engagement from people that probably don't care, but they're trying to be nice. I appreciate it, and you need those people that are going to be on your team to kind of tell the algorithm like, hey, this guy's legit, give him a shot. So anyways, if you haven't done a declaration post, go do one. After that initial declaration post, very, very rarely does business actually come from that. I mean, let's be real. Think about your experience. You post something, you say, hey, I'm doing X. How many people immediately shoot you a DM, comment, text you, hey dude, I actually need that. I know this. Referrals come pouring in. It doesn't happen. And then a few weeks go by, the months go by, maybe you put, a video on your story, maybe you post like a super corporate branded post on your social media, just, doing something to say you're doing something. And then this actually recently happened to me, and what sparked my initial mind opening experience of that I need to get on top of my social media is I had somebody that I'm pretty close with, maybe not, I would call them an ideal client. They would be a great client down the road for me. And they ask, oh, are you still doing that? How's that going for you? I'm like, bro, I'm still doing this. I've been doing this for almost 4.5 years now. Like, how do you not know what I'm doing? And it's like, well, no duh, he doesn't know what I'm doing. He never sees anything that I'm doing. I don't post about it. I don't talk about it. He never sees me. So if he needed something, a service that I provide, a service that my business provides, he probably would have forgotten to even ask me or call me or text me for help. So the number one or the biggest reason why I'm doing social media is to simply just stay top of mind with people. Everyone you know should know exactly what you do, and you just need to get as much exposure as possible. It doesn't matter how long you've been in business, it matters how much exposure you've had while being in the business. How many people know what you do? How many connections have you made? And there's a huge missed opportunity with letting people know that our friends, family, acquaintances, what you're doing. You could buy a billboard on the freeway, pay a ton of money for it, or you could grab a freaking camera and just start posting stuff. Now, you need to be posting good quality content, which at first it's not going to be good, it's not going to be quality, but guess what? At the beginning, you have like 2 followers. Right now, everyone I know, they know that I'm Logan and they know that I'm trying. And eventually, I'm going to get better, I'm going to improve, and it's going to become more quality content. Step 1 of social media, or first thing that you need to do as you embark on your personal branding, business building, social media journey. 1 is you need to get clear about what your goals are. Now, when I say goals, it doesn't need to be like, oh, I want to get 1 million followers or whatever. And I would say this is the differentiator between, what I'm going to share with you and what those content creators are sharing with you. They're sharing to other content creators on how to be a content creator. 1, I don't even know how content creators make money. And then 2, as business owners, as professionals, our content is going to look drastically different than trying to be the next Mr. Beast or something. We're not trying to be entertainers. We're not trying to be YouTubers. At the end of the day, you are still a X, and you are a professional, and you are the best at that. Second, you are also very good at marketing and branding, which is what we're working on here. So for me, my goals for posting on social media, it is 1, brand recognition. Brand recognition will lead to hopefully higher client retention, in which my clients will be able to engage in my content, where I'll be giving them constant and daily value about, what I do, tips, tricks, just showing them that I am an expert at what I do. The other piece of it is I am also trying to stay top of mind with my clients, with friends and family and acquaintances, that this is what I do for a career, this is what I do professionally. This will then drive hopefully more referrals and more connections and more people flooding into my business. 2, eventually, and this isn't going to happen early on in the process, at least from the 3 or 4 weeks I've been doing it, eventually is going to start attracting new clients, new potential business from your content. They're going to engage with it. They're going to see that you're knowledgeable. And most things in life is right place, right time. They see one of your posts, they like it, they resonate with it, they have a question, they follow up, they reach out to you. It can become a way of generating new business. And then the third piece is networking. I think that, traditional networking is dead. Going to these groups, these shows, trading business cards, shaking hands. I mean, let's be honest. When was the last time you got a business card and you actually called it? Like, I literally, I throw them away instantly almost. Or I put them somewhere and they're in a drawer somewhere that I don't know where they are. Now, networking events can be super powerful if you have a follow-up strategy or a way to turn all those connections into relationships. But I found it's a lot of, it's hard. It's a lot of time. You're meeting a lot of people, and 90% of it, 95% of it almost goes nowhere. So the goal with social media is, now that you've built out your social media, you've practically built out your digital business card. Social media allows you to organically engage with those you're networking with. So, nice to meet you. Good to meet you. Hey, here's my business card. Hey, no, dude, I don't want your business card. Do you have social media? Do you have Instagram? Do you have LinkedIn? What's the best way to connect with you? Facebook. Oh yeah, boom, bang, bang, bang. This gives you two things. One, they're going to see your content if you're posting. You're going to stay top of mind that you are the X in your industry. And then two, the second thing, you now have a way to actually contact them. If they just give you, or you just give them your business card, they're never going to call you, I promise. It gives you a way to stay in touch, and then also, right place, right time kind of thing. You can now stay engaged, follow up, you're going to stay top of mind with them, and eventually if they ever do need your services or your help, hopefully you're the one that they think of. And you will be the one that they think of if you're constantly giving value, entertaining, and staying at the top of their feed. So stop handing out business cards and start giving out your social media and build your portfolio on your social medias to where it becomes a very, very intriguing thing and draws people in. Here's one example of maybe somebody that's not in a business owner role, but they're in software sales, for example. In your Instagram, you should still make it apparent that you work in the industry of software, you're in sales, and then just every so often maybe sharing some insights in your industry, maybe a sales tactic, sales trick, some language, putting it in your stories, building out some highlights of just like a work bubble. Doesn't really matter exactly what it is. But this example that I'm sharing is kind of the long game. But imagine you meet somebody at a trade show or not a concert, but you meet somebody and, oh, he is a VP of sales somewhere. You know, connect with them on LinkedIn. LinkedIn's kind of oversaturated at this point, but oh, great. What's your social media profiles? Yada, yada, yada. You start posting, you're top of mind every couple weeks. He sees you on his feed, and then position opens up in his company and he's like, dang, we're looking to hire. I remember so-and-so does X. I see them posting. He's got a cool family. He's got a cool life. Seems like a good guy. Guess who he is going to reach out to as one of the first people he thinks of? You. So when I see people complaining about not getting a job and can't find an interview, or interviews are so hard to do well, it means you're not networking. You're not doing the work before the interview. The interview, I don't know. That's just my personal take. You need to know somebody, get your foot in the door, and then just, be normal in the interview, and you'll probably get the job if you've done enough front-end work. So social media will become where you share a snapshot of your life, personally and professionally. So we'll dive into this, but work on optimizing your profiles with a strong bio, highlights on Instagram, and then just a steady stream of content or posts. They don't need to be crazy. Post some stuff about your family. Post some memes about your industry. Just do a little bit, like show them who you are, personally, professionally, whatever you like to do for fun. Like it should be a place where all those things come together. And I can tell that, for example, me, he likes to run. He likes to spend time with his family. He's got a dog that he likes to play with. He's expecting a baby. Him and his wife like to go to concerts. Like they should just be able to get a quick snapshot within 2 or 3 minutes of looking through your profile. Rules for social media for me. Everyone's going to have their own rules, things that they want to make sure that they do, and this is pretty personal. But I think this is pretty crucial for anyone in the service-based businesses or those professions I mentioned earlier. You have to stay true to the core of what's gotten you here. Social media will only complement and supplement what you're already currently doing to build your business. I'll kind of compare it to a steroid. If you're taking steroids but you're not working out, they're going to have a minimal effect on your overall goal, which if you're taking steroids is to build muscle. But if you continue to go to the gym, you continue to train, you continue to eat healthy, it is going to exponentially compound the progress that you're making. I like to use the analogy of hunting versus farming. Back in our ancestor days, whatever you want to call it, we had to hunt to survive. You had to go find food. But then somebody discovered, hey, what if we plant these seeds and we just wait? We don't have to chase this food around. It just grows. We don't have to really do much other than keep the plants alive, and eventually they'll give us the food that we need. Same thing goes for social media. I would compare social media more to farming. You still need to go hunt. If you don't hunt, you're not going to be around long enough to see the results of your farming or playing the long game. Social media is definitely the long game. It's not a get rich quick thing like most people show you or tell you. I've already mentioned this a few times, but the other core pillar of why I am doing social media is just simply follow up. It is an easy way to continue to follow up with clients, prospective clients, and people that you've just simply had basic conversations with at networking events. You just need to be known as the person who does X. It's as simple as that. Good example, I was wanting to buy a Volkswagen Jetta about a year ago. I go to the dealership, I bought the first one I test drove. I got sold, but I also just didn't want to put up with it. I'm like, just give me a car that works, please. Don't screw me over. A few months later, I'm at lunch with a friend, and I'm like, oh, what are you doing right now? He's like, oh, I work at the Volkswagen dealership. I'm like, dude, I just bought a car like 2 or 3 months ago. I much rather would have bought a car from him because one, I knew he'd take care of me. I didn't have to worry about it. We already had a relationship. And for him, that was just a missed opportunity because I just didn't even know what he did. If he would have simply did an announcement statement, something, I probably would have saw it. And yeah, it might not have exponentially changed his career, but that's one extra car that he could have sold that month. So to wrap all this up, we're gonna follow along as I really go from nothing to something on social media. The end goal isn't to be internet famous, go viral, or become some guru that's gonna sell you courses. I'm really just trying to, one, educate, entertain, bring value, and with these YouTube videos, hopefully help a few other people in a similar industry or service-based business as mine to take the leap of faith, start building content, and simply just using social media as another tool in their toolbox to grow their business. I feel like it's super underutilized, super untapped, and even if you only get, let's call it 200 views on something, or you get 25 likes, that's 25 touch points that you wouldn't have had otherwise. So stay tuned, I'm excited. Drop some comments on things that you want to see, questions that you have, and we'll touch on that in the next video. Next video, we'll be diving more into Instagram. So I think we're going to take each social media platform and we're going to break down each one at a time, so that way you can then copy and paste and just apply it. I think that's the hardest thing with these videos. They tell you all these things to do, but really we're getting down to the basics and the fundamentals. So if you want to get a head start on next video, I would begin looking at videos and doing some research on how to optimize your Instagram for personal and business use.